thinking if I'm giving you the right name. Okay, Simon. I think it's Simon. Yes, it's Simon Sinek. I'll write to you now. Simon Sinek. Okay, and this guy is a speaker. He's an expert in terms of how people behave in a company, within a team, okay, or how HR departments, therefore companies, okay, upper management of companies, which are their criteria to choose who is the person that gets the responsibility, that gets a very important promotion, and becomes the one that will manage, a team or a studio, okay, a whole department. So this is very interesting because there are a lot of people that call this Simon Sinek as an expert and tell him, we have a problem. The problem is that at work there is a bad environment. There are people that are not really happy. I mean, the work, it's okay because our projects go on, our suppliers are happy, our clients are happy, but at the same time, making researches and polls inside the company, we discover that a lot of people that work with us, for us, in-house, are not very satisfied. Therefore, we would like to do something that can improve their life at work to be more satisfied. Hi, Sean. Ciao. Welcome back. Did you put the like on the video, by the way? Thanks. Don't forget that your likes are very important because they push this channel. I get more visits thanks to the likes and the comments. More comments, more likes, more interaction, and the algorithm of YouTube is very happy and will push this video everywhere. I hope all over. Okay, so let's go back to our topic. So basically what happens is that they ask this Simon, this person, this speaker, as an expert in helping companies to improve their performance and their internal satisfaction, which means the people. And, hey, ciao Dimitrios, very nice presentation, huh? Bravo. Dimitrios just prepared this July final project presentation, and there are a lot of drawings that he put that we did together when he was my student online, and this presentation is very rich. Dimitrios, you should put your Instagram, in the comment, your Instagram name, so that people can check that short video you made, which is not bad at all. Knowing that Dimitrios did not start yet a real car design school, okay? So don't forget that, guys. All right? Oh, thanks! Thank you for the coffee. Grazie. Hey, guys, if you want to offer me a coffee, just like Dimitrios just doing now. But also if it's not a coffee, yeah? Don't worry. Even less, I'll be happy. Your support, it's very important for me. So, when Simon goes to talk to those companies, what does he do? He goes to knock at the door of the HR department, personnel department, one where all the careers are played and decided, okay? Of course, they are decided with the directors, managers of studios and departments, but it's the HR that has the type of how can I say rules, okay, that they decide to apply in order to put each one of us, so me too, okay. Thank you, Dimitrios, thank you very much. Thanks, you are so kind with me. So wait, let me give you a heart. Let me give you 2 hearts, 3 3 hearts from the bottom of my heart. Thanks. So basically what happens is that the HR department says, Well, that's how we decide who are the people that deserve to get responsibilities. We have these graphics, performance and trust, and then we choose the best option that gives us a very nice feeling about performance, which means that the guy that we are targeting, or a girl, it's very, very good in his job or her job. And this person can manage. So this is, for us, it's very important, of course, because it's a project management. And then the trust. Now, on the trust, I am sure that all of you are thinking that they will choose the person that has the best performance and the best trust, which means, as I said at the beginning of this, of this topic, of this design talk, the person to who you would give the keys of your house, knowing that when you go back to your house is exactly perfect state and in order, because this guy is very trustful. No, that's what Simon Sinek discovered. That there are a lot of companies out there, and this, please, what I'm talking to you today is in general, every company, Coca-Cola company, big bank financial companies, I don't know, several different type of industries, suppliers, even in politics, it's in general, okay. In general, it's like that. They choose somebody that is very good in their performance, but they don't choose this person because it's very trustful. Basically, they don't care if they can really trust this person. Of course, there is a minimum that must be there, a minimum percentage of trust, but not the highest. And now the question is, why? It does make sense, because if you have a company, you invest, I don't know, money on this company, you hire people, and then you need somebody that manages the people that you hire, because you are very busy in doing something else, which is the company promotion, new clients, research, selling your company, I don't know, to the government to get funds, to get money and stuff. You cannot be in the studio managing. So you are looking for somebody that has a very high performance and is trustful. Right? Well, no. In general, they choose somebody that has a good performance, but of whom they cannot really trust that much. And that's what it's creating, a toxic environment within the teams. Now, this is not in every company, okay? So please, I want to say this again. I don't want to be accused that I'm saying that all companies are like that. No. But what Simon Sinek noted, according to his interviews and his research and his statistics, that in the world that he's in contact with, this is a problem. And the companies say, yeah, but we don't care very much how much we can trust, because for us the most important thing is that we can trust them on the performance. Yes, but the problem is, that's what Simon Sinek explains to his clients, to those companies. The problem is that those people sometimes are very rude, because on a human point of view, you cannot trust them very well. Are they delicate when they have to announce a bad news to an employee? Probably not. Are they rude? When they ask somebody to do a job and do it this way because I said it? Probably yes. In some cases, there is the terror management strategy. Somebody that, because has the gallons, as we say in France, because he has big responsibilities. He's gonna be very, very hard. He will never smile, and he will basically order people to do things. Now, you know that there is a big difference between a leader, okay, and how can I say, and somebody that thinks he's a leader or she's a leader, but they are not. They are just, how can I say, a sort of a tyrant, somebody that is only imposing her own way of doing things. So this is creating that toxic environment, and people, of course, will work for that person because they are scared. They are scared to lose their job. They are scared not to get a better job. Ciao, Custom. Welcome back. So, but this way of managing, on the long run, will create a very bad feeling within the studio. And when you get a bad feeling in the studio, what happens is that this is contagious. Basically, other people will start feeling the same. Maybe not everybody. You have always those that say, no, I like that, straightforward management activity or strategy or way of doing it. But the majority of the people that are also very sensible, they are normal people who go home with their own problems that must be solved in their private lives. When they go to work and next day at work 8-10 hours, they would like to have a problem to solve according to the job, according to the projects, but not a problem that is a human problem between them and their manager or their director. But this is happening. And the question is, today, one of the questions that people start asking themselves, is it correct to keep on doing this type of choices or orientations in terms of management? So, in other words, which one should be, ciao Patricio, ¿cómo estás? Greetings to you too, thanks. So, when we talk about startup, the new companies, the new way of working together, the flexibility, the good life at work, is this really happening? There was a very beautiful movie, American movie, that was basically explaining this story, it's really well done. I don't remember the title, but I am sure that if you type Google movie, Google Life movie, you will discover, where you can see that Google, for example, is a company that has a lot of, how can I say, a great potential in making everybody feel at home at work. But then there are being a lot of people that's starting to come out in interviews and start saying, yeah, it's true. We were having everything was nice, everything is in house, even our kids were coming at work. We have the in-house kindergarten, the games for the kids, the people, the babysitting. We eat at work, we have dinner at work, but at the end we are working all the time. So that's another way of, how can I say, of not probably really respecting, people's soul, life in general. Because life is not only work. And I understand that in some cases, when you work, especially in design, it's asked to stay longer, especially young designers or modelers, because there is a model that must be finished. In 1 week, there is a big presentation. We cannot lose concentration. Let's keep all our energy to make sure. That's great. That's fantastic. If you do once in a while, it's even fun. It's like going back to school. Ciao, Sudhar Shurai. Ciao from India. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome to this topic, to this design talk. But the same thing, you don't have to find yourself in a situation where this becomes an exaggeration. So I have to tell you that I always had very nice experience, okay? Where I worked before, where I work now, even when I was in China, where everybody were telling me, when you go to China, you'll see, you will work like 10 hours, 15 hours per day. The Chinese do. In a way, it's true. You work more in China. More because we were always in a sort of, how can I say, emergency. Because we had a very, very short planning. Not like here in Europe that is a little bit longer. So when you have to make a project, everybody really have to speed up. And because there I was the manager, I felt a little bit guilty, that I had to push them or to force them to be there on Saturdays. Sometimes we were there working on Sunday, which in China is normal. At the same time, I was there with them. I've been always there with them. And I was making fun. I would say jokes, sometimes in English translating. It's not that nice in Chinese. But at the end, we were able to understand each other. So it was cool. Everybody had always the smile. And people told me, I want to stay. Don't worry. I can stay 2 hours extra. People would call the family. Don't worry, it's done. I talked to my wife or to my husband. I'll be there. I'll stay here. Because we were having fun. So I knew that I was pushing them, in a way, forcing them, too much. Only for a short period of time. It was about a month of work. But at the same time, I was part of the game. I was there. And we were having fun. And the job was done really well. Because there was the excitement. We were all doing something that we considered exceptional. So we were motivated. Now there's other scenarios that are not like this. You see people say, I want this by this time, tomorrow morning. I have a sister that works for a bank. And when she talks to me about the management attitude of her managers in this bank, which is an important bank, sometimes I say, wow. And I felt like, in our team, sometimes we were pushed, to do a little bit more than what we should have done. But here is worse. And what is worse is the attitude. Because the attitude is, it's like, I am ordering you to do that. Don't break my, my candies. If you understood what I mean. The job has to be done. So the good thing in design, and so I tell you this because this is important for us in our field, is that it's very rare. Okay, it's very rare. In general, design managers or people that work in design since many years, they realize that it's a big family. So this spirit of big family, it's very nice, even when we have to work really hard. And we don't feel that bad or that bad. So it's okay. But it is true that in other fields or in other companies, it's a little bit what I would say the old style, of management practice. For example, hi Verma, greetings from India again. Yes, great pleasure. Ciao. Welcome back. A little heart to all my Indian friends. Wait. A little heart for all my Indian friends. Here we go. Done. Put the likes. Put the likes. If you want to offer me a coffee just like Dimitrios did, please. Super sticker, super chat. Et voila. Okay, so in design in general it's okay. But when I was young, I remember that even in movies, black and white movies where you see scenes from in a company, people that work in the company, the director, the manager, it was really, really rude. It was really a sort of a patriarchal type of management practice. And that time, in the 50s, in the 40s, it sounds, in the 60s, it sounds normal. Then from the 70s and the 80s, things start changing. But when you were in an engineering environment, it was still kind of tough, kind of hard. And there, in some companies, you have, as you know, marketing, product planning, engineering, maybe design. You have several departments. And you can have differences between those departments in terms of management practices. So, I wanted to share this with you because I think it's important. It's important that you learn, that you think a little bit also about the environment at work and what it means management and management practice. Because it's very nice to have I can tell you because I had this chance to have a good environment where you can, you help your colleagues helps you out. If you're looking for information, if you have to talk to the big boss, it's easy access. If you have to make a presentation, even if the presentation doesn't go well, the temperature never goes high. Things are explained. You understand. In this way, it's nice. But I've seen also in other companies where there is a big boss that rules everything, that really, it's simply asking people to do certain things in a certain way, and they cannot even think to do it in a better way or a different way, because I would get mad. And that thing gets said. And this can happen. Because, for example, if we take a design company, a small design company, that is from, I don't know, I would say one of those countries that recently it's opening to this new way of making business. Because today business is global, no? So they meet other companies. And they realize that in other companies, the working style, the working life is different. But they are still attached to their old style of managing their employees. But if you get into that company, even if we are in 2023, 2024, you still run the risk to find yourself in that situation. So now, to finish, how do we cope with that? What do we do if we are in that situation? The first thing that I can tell you, that I can suggest you to do, is before you decide anything, think always about your ethics, the working ethics. Now, for those that don't know, the work ethics is how you work, the respect that you have for people, the respect that you have for your role within the company, and the respect that you have for the activity that you are doing, the projects that you are doing. Okay, that's important. So don't ever lose, your targets. Don't miss your targets. Remember that you are paid to do that job at the best you can. So that's the ethics. And in the ethics, I put also how we react with people, with colleagues, with managers, with directors, with the HR department, if they call us for any reasons. We have to be ethically correct. Okay. Ethically correct. Then, of course, if you don't feel well, because you are in that company 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then after 4 years you start saying, I can't stand it anymore, because something that can happen. Then you have two choices. The first one that I think it's the best one, especially if you are young, that means that you are still out there discovering the world. 3-4 years in a company, you learn things, then you can move out and go into another company. And that's what I would suggest to do. then probably it's the case that if you really don't like it anymore, that you go away. So how you do it, we said it many times, especially in design. First, you find another job. Once you know that in your pocket you have a contract, another contract, where usually they pay you more, okay, if you are able to negotiate well, then it's the time that you quit the company. And you do not quit the company saying, I quit the companies because I don't like the people. No, you don't do that. You quit the company for private reasons. You don't have to explain. There's no rule that you must explain. And to say that you go away for private reasons is the most polite way, I would say, and also ethical way, according to our own ethics, the way we are educated, by our parents, by our, I don't know, the peer, the people around us, the way we live our life, how correct we have to be with ourselves and also toward the others that are around us. To say private reasons, it gives you the opportunity that those people don't have anything to answer you back negatively. So they say, we are sorry. We wish you good luck in your next adventure. And you never know, because maybe in 5 years you go back to that company. Because maybe in 5 years the company has new managers, new people, things have changed. You like that company again, you have 10 years of experience, and maybe you will become one of the managers of that company. So you can come back. I've seen things like that. In that case, it's pretty nice. And also, if you don't go back to the same company after a couple of years or after 5 years, you can always change again for another company. Because in general, when we do a career, when we think about a career, according to what I know in design, if you, a lifetime, you change 3-4 times, that's okay. If you change too many times, it's not good. Okay, because people say, how can I trust this guy? I take him and 2 years later he goes away to someone else. No, not good. But if you change a couple of times or 3 times, I change, for example, twice, then in that case it's good. Because you have enough years of experience to be dedicated to the company, do the best you can, really know almost everything of that company, and you have a solid experience. Therefore, you become, after years, one of the people that can be trusted, not only in performance, but also on the human point of view, to solve some type of problems, because you know well the company, you know things that are good, things that are so-so, and what eventually are the actions that you could help to make so that things go a little bit better. So that's the first option, I would say, that you go away. The second option, and I don't see any other options, is that of course you go and talk to your boss. You go talk to your manager and say, hey, look, it's 3 years, 4 years, things are happening this way, I'm not happy anymore. I think this is not correct. I think that this is something that I cannot accept anymore. You bring your examples. But also in that case, when you talk to the manager, and you have to do this step by step, so your direct manager first. If you're not satisfied, then you go to the director, which is the manager of your manager. You cannot jump, because if you jump, your manager becomes your best enemy. And I understand that, this hierarchy must be respected. That's normal in my opinion. We have to respect those. So, and then you start a sort of, how can I say, path, okay, a sort of, I have the French word and the Italian word in my head, but not the English one. You start a sort of exchanging ideas with your manager, and you will see how he responds, or she will respond, because probably she will say or he will say, you know what, I agree with you on some things, we can work together to improve. In that case, if you feel that you really like the company and you really want to stay there, that you, of course, you're gonna say, well, I was here 4 years. I can try to stay here 3 more months or 6 more months or 1 more year, right? So you can work out a sort of a plan to see if some of those things that are really bothering, not just you but other people too, can be fixed. And you have to hope that other people will go and tell the same manager the same things, so that that guy understands that it's not just you, that in the studio there is something that is really going wrong. This is, I would say, a hope that things can change. The only problem with this activity, this way of solving the problem, is that you don't know what's happening between your manager and his director, when this manager will go and talk to the director to announce him that they have some problems in the studio. Because you can have a director say, I don't care. That's your problem, you fix it the best you can, but on my side, I don't change anything. You see? Or he can give or she can give a little bit of concession. Little things that at the beginning for you look like a conquest, but that in reality is not really that much. So basically the same problems, the most important ones, remain. There is a Artist Woodward. I work for a city-sponsored recreational facility, all right, and management. Or brickroom management. Issues pop up a lot, creating a lot of anxiety and stress. So I appreciate this insight. Thank you, Artist. I really appreciate you writing this, because it's something that people don't talk much, Now, when you have when you are 60 years old like me, I think that it's easier to talk to a manager, smoke a cigar like I do, getting a coffee in a restaurant, outside the company, you talk. You talk about working life in general, and you point out few things to make him or she or her understand that there are problems, and we gotta do something, to solve, because you are old, and therefore you can be part of the help that this person maybe needs to convince up there that we gotta do something. The problem is when you are very young, because when you are very young, there is so much difference. Then the guy listens to you, and can also think it's pretending too much. This guy is pretending too much. We always work well, our results are good, the performance, it's great, So it's difficult. This option can be done, but it is difficult. Okay, so if somebody like Artist Wooder has a similar story, you can write in the comment. We can check it out. For example, I was giving you the example of the bank company. Well, the bank company, they didn't do anything for the simple reason that the company policy years ago changed, and they shifted their attention only on profit. So when they go on profit, they don't care about trust. They care about performance. And therefore, the people that work, at the counter or in the back office to make sure that this performance is acted with positive results, they have to run. And they are, in a way, squeezed, between the upper management that is pushing without a change, and them and their clients. And sometimes some people get a lot of stress and anxiety. People go home with doctors that say you gotta stay 15 days at home. Take this justification, bring it to the company, and the company there, of course, has to accept that you take some days of free to relax and to release your stress and stuff like that. Susi Hejari, what do you think of the modification that I made? Am I right? You are the one. I didn't see it because your video I cannot see. But what I ask you to do, make you the sketch. I want you to make the sketch, because if you, I didn't have the time to go and check my videos, and of course I can make a lot of mistakes like everybody. But if you were so good and so right to go and check that mistake, I would like you to show me with your sketch, so that you say you did this way and you should have done this way with your sketch. Then I'll be very happy to learn from you. Let's do this. So take a telephone like the one I have in front of me now, where I'm watching myself, okay? Put it on a support, make the sketch, and send me the video, okay? If you want, I give you my email, and you can send me the video via email. A short video, it's to be a few seconds, because if it's too heavy, via email will not go. All right? Besides, guys, I leave you my email just in case someone of you would like information about my online course, okay? Just in case. There you go. Okay, so now we are 9, and I don't know, if there is no other question, it's almost 7 o'clock at night here, then we can say that our little topic of today, it's over. Also because those lives, I cannot make those lives too long, because if I make them too long, after people don't watch them, the video, starting the day after, because it's too long. So I have to go and cut the video. This time we did it really correct, from the beginning until the end. I explained what I had to explain. You gave me very good insights, especially Artris Woodard, that sent me a very nice comment that reflects a little bit what I talk about. But this is exactly Simon Sinek. Remember, Simon Sinek that is writing these things. What do you think of, wait, there is somebody else that is writing something? No, but no other comments. So I suggest you to go and check, if you are interested in this management practices, okay? I've written the question first. Yes, will car design be completely homogenized by the time we graduate from our university? What do you mean, homogenized? You mean that they look all the same? That all designs look the same? Sibatish, tell me, is this what you want to say? Tell me. Because if this is the question, I'll give you my point of view with pleasure. Anyway, Asia D, I think that you have to, in order for me to check the video that you post me on YouTube on a private link, you have to make sure that I can click that link, because when I click that link, it says a video not existing, okay? So it's impossible. It's like there's no video. I think you have to check when you do that, something like you have to give me the rights to click so that I can watch, okay? All right, so there is, as I said many times, if you go in and check all the cars from the 50s, the cars design of the 60s, 70s, 80s, every 10 years or every 20 years, you see there are a lot of cars that look similar, okay? The first reason is that marketing and trends. There are a lot of companies, especially generic companies, or companies that produce for mass production, which means they have to, their designs must be appreciated by a lot of people, a lot of people, because if it's not like that, what's gonna happen is that they are not selling, and then the investment, it's not good. They go upside down with the company. So what do? They look the most beautiful designs that have a great success, and they get that as a target, as an example to follow to make their next. Okay, good. Susie, thank you. I think I received that. I saw a little thing on appear on my telephone. I go and check. I will answer to you. I will answer to you via email. Okay, promise. So in that case, those companies, in order to make sure that they can sell their cars maybe even cheaper than the original, they do something that looks similar. And marketing says, people like that, they spend 20,000, we can do that in 15,000, probably we can get a part of that market because our product will have more or less the same type of quality, and the design is very good, trendy, up to date, and it's gonna work. So mass production companies or small companies that try to scrape some extra clients. Ehi, bella ciurta, ciao Martin. Sei arrivato alla fine. But don't worry, we talked only about management in general, no design in particular. And if you want, from tomorrow or later on, you can click the video and you can watch the video from the start, okay? No problem. All right. So, this is one way, okay? One reason why cars look similar. Another reason is that every year, especially in this period, with the green ecology transition, energetic transition, some countries, like Europe, which is a lot of countries together, impose new rules. And when you impose new rules, all the car companies have to respect those rules. And this is another thing that is forcing people to do things that are similar, because we all have to pass by that same rule. That's another thing. Then there is another aspect. Premium company. When we talk about premium company, it's luxurious cars. We can go from Rolls-Royce, Bentley, to BMW, Mercedes, Audi, also those Lucid, Tesla, those companies that produce expensive cars. They don't need to be homogenized, as Sibasic said, with the trends, because they are the one that makes a trend. And they must be fiddle, very, very much on their own client type targets, because they don't want to lose their market share. Therefore, they will move in a different way with their designs. But it is possible that mass production or other companies will look at Audi and they will try to make something similar on Audi. You understand what I'm talking about. Now, there is another thing, but we will talk about this on another design-specific talk, which is artificial intelligence. Because I know that a lot of you asked me, I never gave you an answer, but I'm looking at it because I'm very curious. I'm very skeptical. I always said it. And I will talk about this. The risk with artificial intelligence is true, that designs might look very similar or even very ugly because of the artificial intelligence activity. Then, of course, it depends all by us how human beings will manage that artificial intelligence activity. Because it's written nowhere that we delegate to artificial intelligence something, it comes out that mix, and that mix goes into production. Okay? So this is also something that you have to realize. But we are still in a very, very early stage about that. Mr. Rai. Okay, Sibasic, I hope I answered to your question. In spite of having an average product design portfolio, I was allowed to work as a junior designer at a consultancy. All right, that's cool. I won the trust of the CEO and CTO via my best performance in most crucial time. But that's very nice. That means my dear Rai, that means that you were into an environment that was very sane, where from the super big boss until the last employee, there was a very good spirit of constructive spirit, using a methodology in your activities and in the management that was not toxic at all. It was really recognizing the value of each one of you, pushing each one of you to make the best of what you can give. And that's, in my opinion, the best thing to do in any company or in any design environment or in any bank or in any, I don't know, in any company, in general. Because every company has management, employees, from the jobs that do a certain type of zero responsibility activities to those that have very high responsibilities, okay? I brought them amazing project opportunities via my work and my design thinking process. It inspired one of the client me crucial work. That's great. You see, here is a clear example of a management that understood that you had a lot to offer, and they encouraged you to do it. And even if there was a risk there, you know, that you might make mistakes or, I don't know, did not how to speak with the client, etc., they would be there to back you up. That's a good thing. And I've been in situations like this. I've been in situations like this when I was in theater with, for example, with the Americans, with Chris Bangle and Peter Davis. It was a nice period of time because we were working like that. Each one of us had something to give. Not everybody the same, but each one of us was individually treated in a way that each one of us was trying to give the best of what we can do. You see? Great, right? Very happy for you. And this is also something that can help you on your new job, on your career, because you will become manager. Maybe you are already a manager, but when you will become a manager, you will have that example that is a very positive example. And I really hope that you're going to behave the same. Maybe applying a new method, I don't know, new things that will go always in that direction, which also at the end is made of respect, of mutual respect, trust, performance. Performance and trust, in my opinion, they must go together. Okay? So, and that's exactly the same thing that Simon Sinek at the end says, you know. All right, that's very nice. We had a very nice talk. A lot of you stayed more than 15 minutes with me live. That's great, because in general, it's a little bit less the time. So I'm very happy. If you want to offer me a coffee, you have still time, a minute, with a super sticker or super chat, okay, just in case you want. And if not, don't worry, put the like to this video, and if you want, share this video. I'll be very happy if you share the video. This helps also, as I said at the beginning, the algorithm, so that this channel keeps on growing. You know, since we were 7,600, now we have 16 extra followers, which is nice, subscribers. So let's see if we get to 8,000. All right. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Grazie. See you next Friday, like always, with a lot of pleasure. Ciao. Have a good week.